Caitlin Clark just shattered one of the biggest unspoken rules in sports labor talks, and barely anyone noticed. While the WNBA Players Association threatens to derail the entire 2026 season over demands for a 700% pay increase, Clark dropped a casual 5-word post that changed the game entirely. This wasn't an accident, it was intentional, and it exposes the biggest truth women's basketball doesn't want you to see. The real power in these CBA negotiations isn't sitting at the table. It's not the union reps making ultimatums. It's not even the committee drafting the terms. The true power brokers? Caitlin Clark, period. Right behind her, Angel Reese, then Sabrina Ionescu, Aja Wilson, and Paige Bueckers, who hasn't even stepped onto a WNBA court yet. These 5 athletes hold the keys to the league's future, and with one simple post, they just made it clear the season is happening, whether the union likes it or not. But there's another player in this game, and it isn't on the roster. It's Nike. The swoosh controls a massive stake in the WNBA. Their investment in Caitlin Clark alone exceeds the value of most franchises. If you think Nike is going to let a labor dispute sink their golden goose, you've been asleep at the wheel. This is corporate strategy on a global scale, and the Players Association just realized they aren't even playing chess yet. Here's the moment that changed everything. A fan shares a sweet story about their dog. The dog's name? CC, clearly named after Caitlin Clark. Adorable, right? Not even close. Clark responds with 6 words that sent seismic ripples through every negotiating room in the league. Both are welcome courtside this year. Notice the wording, this year. Not maybe if the season happens. Not hopefully they'll play this year. Guaranteed. Done. The 2026 season isn't just likely, it's locked in.
Sums it up here. So, we saw this post, obviously somebody's dog, I don't know exactly who this is, to be honest, they said their dog was named CC after Caitlin Clark. Caitlin's response, both are welcome courtside this year. That's one of those things. And by the way, like, people like Caitlin Clark and injuries tend to be calculated in quite a lot of things.
Before you brush this off as just another social media post, think again. Caitlin Clark doesn't do casual. Every word she posts is deliberate, every post is calculated. She has a full team shaping her brand, crafting her narrative. You really think she accidentally confirmed the season is happening? Absolutely not. This wasn't for her fans, it was a direct message to the negotiating table. Angel Reese did something similar this week. She spoke about her biggest goals for the upcoming season. Not if it would happen, not hoping it happens, but about playoffs, victories, and turning the Chicago Sky into a contender. She's talking like the season is guaranteed, and for her, it is. These 2 women are the league's true powerhouses for completely different reasons. Clark brings ratings, sponsorships, and mainstream attention. Reese delivers controversy, rivalries, and must-watch drama. Together, they are the product, and both just made one thing crystal clear. The 2026 WNBA season is happening, so why is the Players Association still pretending they hold the nuclear option? Let's break down that 97% strike authorization vote. Sounds intimidating, right? Like the league is ready to walk off the court, but here's the reality no one admits. That vote changes nothing. 0. 97% of players didn't vote to strike. They voted to give the negotiating committee permission to threaten a strike if talks fall apart. Huge difference. From a player's perspective, the union asks, hey, authorize a strike if negotiations fail. What are you gonna say? No? Risk being the teammate who breaks ranks, the villain who doesn't show solidarity? Of course not. You vote yes, you follow the rules, you survive. Even if the vote had been 60% instead of 97%, it wouldn't matter. The strike is the only leverage the players have. If half the league said no, the association would crumble. The league would just move forward. Voting yes isn't bravery, it's survival. It's the only way to push for a 700% raise instead of a 300% one, and make no mistake, that's the real story. The players are about to secure massive pay increases. Everyone knows it. The league, the players, Nike. The negotiations are theater. The only question is how much money each player walks away with. But the idea that the season might not happen, that's a bluff. And Caitlin Clark just called it. Here's the kicker. Nike reportedly plans to unveil Caitlin Clark's signature shoe in a Super Bowl ad, February 9th, 2026, the biggest advertising stage in the world. Do you think Nike will spend millions on a a player in a league that might not even have a season? Absolutely not. Nike knows the truth. The season is locked in. And if Team USA doesn't select Clark for the March national team camp, Nike could pull their sponsorship entirely. That's the level of investment we're talking about. Caitlin Clark is no longer just a player. She's a billion-dollar business. And businesses don't negotiate. They set the terms. Here's why this all matters. The Players Association wants panic. They want fans scared the season might not happen, so the league caves on demands. But when the two most influential players in the league are casually posting about courtside seats and playoff ambitions, that panic disappears. Fans aren't worried, sponsors aren't worried, and when nobody's worried, the union loses its leverage. This is brilliant strategy from Clark and Reese. Coordinated or not, the effect is the same. The 2026 season is on, and everyone else just got played. Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese are quietly dismantling the union's entire negotiating strategy by acting like the 2026 season is already locked in. And honestly, they're probably right. At the end of the day, the Players Association can't risk destroying the sport that built their careers. Imagine being the union that cancels the biggest season in WNBA history. Imagine being responsible for keeping Caitlin Clark, Paige Bueckers, Angel Reese, and A'ja Wilson off the court in 2026. That's a legacy no one wants. Timing couldn't be more crucial. Unrivaled just wrapped their season, and the numbers aren't encouraging. They're averaging roughly 30,000 viewers per game. Paige Bueckers is the only consistent draw, and even then, most games struggle to break 1,000 viewers unless she's on the court. Natasha Cloud recently claimed Unrivaled could operate year-round without the WNBA. Bold statement, but the numbers tell a different story. Unrivaled needs the WNBA far more than the WNBA needs Unrivaled. When your backup plan barely pulls in 1,000 viewers while the main league sells out arenas thanks to Caitlin Clark, you're not negotiating from strength. You're living in a fantasy. The WNBA isn't replaceable. Its product isn't interchangeable. Fans crave history, rivalries, high-stakes drama. They want Clark versus Reese, playoff battles, and championship runs, not a glorified pickup league in a Miami warehouse. Now, let's tackle the elephant in the room. Some will argue Angel Reese didn't perform last season, that her stats were empty calories on a weak team. That's simply not true. Reese was elite. There was a 10-game stretch mid-season where she averaged 17 points, 15 rebounds, and 6 assists. The Chicago Sky went 5-5 during that run. Yes, it's a small sample, but it proves she's a legitimate star dominating on both ends of the court, and dismissing Unrivaled as irrelevant. Think again. When Aaliyah Boston is using that league to sharpen her defensive skills, or Angel Reese is improving against WNBA level competition, it matters. Those gains are real, transferable, and measurable. In the first 4 games of last season, Reese played like a seasoned veteran, adapting, dominating, proving she belongs. Now she heads into 2026 with an even stronger team around her. Here's the part that should terrify the Players Association. The most critical stakeholders in this negotiation all want the same thing. Nike wants the season, the league wants the season, the fans want the season, and the actual stars want the season. So who's standing in the way? A negotiating committee overplaying its hand, a union clinging to leverage it doesn't really have, and role players who are about to see massive raises no matter what happens. The truth, players vote for solidarity because they must. The strike threat exists only to secure their raises, but that threat is hollow. It's a performance. And when the biggest stars in the league publicly behave as if the season is guaranteed, that performance loses all meaning. The bluff has been called. The cards are on the table. The Players Association is holding a pair of threes. What happens next is inevitable. The league and players will strike a deal. The raises will be massive. The 2026 season will shatter records. Caitlin Clark will be healthy. Paige Bueckers will make her WNBA debut. Angel Reese will have her strongest roster ever. A'ja Wilson will continue her dominance. Sabrina Ionescu will peak. Fans will flood arenas. And yet, here's the real question. What does it say about the Players Association when the league's 2 biggest stars completely undermine their strategy? What does it say about their power when Nike wields more influence over the season than the union itself? And what does it say about the league's future when corporate interests align more with the stars than the union? This isn't about solidarity anymore. This is about survival, and the stars have already told us how the story ends. The 2026 season is happening. Deals will get done. Attendance, viewership, and revenue will all hit record highs. The momentum won't be derailed by threats or theatrics. Whether you agree with their approach or not, the results speak for themselves. The season is locked. Book it, bet on it, plan your calendar around it. Caitlin Clark confirmed it. Angel Reese confirmed it. And a Nike Super Bowl commercial will make it official. The only question left, will the Players Association accept reality or keep pretending they have leverage? They don't. My money's on reality, because 700% raises don't grow on trees. And when you negotiate from weakness while pretending to be strong, you eventually fold. The bluff has been called. The cards are on the table. The 2026 WNBA season is happening, whether anyone likes it or not.